Another quick update. This is more about the general layout of the garden. Here in the back corner where all the roses are dormant, I have trimmed things, made it so I could actually walk behind the shed. I've got all my extra trellising material over here, and I'm still going through, seeing what's salvageable, seeing what's not, and looking where to place it throughout the garden. I also have a bunch of pallets and extra boards over there that I could use to make more things. This is where I'm thinking about putting barrels and having the melons for next year be. I'm still gonna have a trellis on this bed for tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. This bed is gonna be moved over there into that little hole, and it is also gonna have trellises for tomatoes. This bed over here, I don't believe I'm putting any tomatoes in it. Maybe if I am, it'd be just over here, so it'd have like one stake or one skinny teepee. The rhubarb is actually making a comeback. That's a whole new leaf since I planted it. Something was eating on it, but like their leaves are poisonous, so I hope whatever it was died, and maybe it'll grow more. Raspberries are still hanging in there. So yeah, not a whole lot of trellising things over this bed in particular, because I also don't want to shade out the greenhouse very much. Inside the greenhouse, I'm working on how to make the short ends of trellises for all the things in there so that I can still have the roof on for the beginning part to the cool spring, but then continue the trellises up as the plants grow up in the summer. I'm still working at maybe doing like short trellises inside, then having like longer connective like conduit poles like this on the outside that I can like trellis them up once I remove the roof. We'll see. Over here on this bed, I'm going to be doing a cross trellis where I'm going to have, a length of like chicken wire go from there and then go across the other way and then go across the other way and then go across the other way, and just kind of, because I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tomatoes in there, so hopefully I can support them that way. We'll see how well that works out. I've moved until clearing the pathways here so I can get to the beds. I moved one barrel over there, and then a lot of the other barrels I've moved over here, but there's still enough space between the barrels, the planters, and the bed here. There's this nice little walkway, and it's even wide enough for me to put my lawnmower down, so I don't have to worry about, like when they were over there, the barrels interfering with me having access to the bed. I'm still going to put a trellis here down the middle of this 12-foot bed, and that's also for supporting tomatoes. Working on what to put there. I'm hopefully going to use a lot of the redwood branches that I've scavenged over the winter to establish that one, but I also have fencing and the chicken wire that I can use there. I'm trying to map out over here where I'm going to do my corn. I'm going to do additional soil on top of the wood chips, which is on top of the adobe clay, because over here, this little area over here, this is where I did my sunflowers last year and now my garlic over the winter. And so I'm thinking it's blocky enough that if I do corn here, it'll pollinate well enough because it'll be in blocks, and I can also hand pollinate it easy enough because it's a little keyhole. I can stand here and access almost all of it. Still working on the design, still laying it out, still unsure if it's going to be this shallow, if I'm going to try and make it any deeper. I'm very uncertain at this point, but I'm giving up some ideas. I'm going to work through the wood pile. I don't want to get rid of it, or maybe if I do, I want to move it somewhere. I want to keep it because I know a lot of salamanders and a lot of lizards use it to overwinter. It's also a reason why I'm going to move the compost bin, and that I'm going to move them so that they're more back there along the fence, so I have better access to the grapes and better access to the plums. But I'm not going to move it yet because I nudged it the other day when I was, helping my dad trim the plum tree, but there's a bunch of salamanders like hibernating and surviving the winter under it right now. So I'm going to wait until we're past the frost, we're past the danger, and then I'm going to move it so I'm not disturbing the arboreal salamanders that we have. So yeah, that's about it. Some things getting moved around, making sure that the flow and the structure of the garden is getting in place, or at least the first steps of it are. It's February 4th, and I am dreaming of spring.